Hi, and welcome to How to Tell Your Friends, Parents, and Employers About European Studies. I'm Dave Van Ginhoven, and if you're a current student of European Studies or a recent graduate, you might remember me as one of your teachers. Today, I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes about something that all of us deal with as members of the European Studies family. We often run into a common problem. European Studies is a very unique study, and we're very proud of that. But one downside of being unique is that it's not always easy to explain to people what European Studies is. And we all have to be able to explain it to our families, to our friends, and to prospective employers. Beyond that, we have to figure out how to describe it to the people that we care about in our CV or in our social media accounts. It can be kind of tricky because European Studies isn't like other studies. So I'd like to try to offer you a couple of helpful tips for explaining European Studies to others. This first tip is probably the most important. See, when I ask people to explain European Studies, they often say something very similar. They say stuff like, well, it's a very broad study with some politics, culture, business, and languages. Please don't do that. That's my number one tip for you. When you describe the program like this, it seems really vague. And the program is not vague. It's actually pretty specific. Try to stop using the word broad, because European Studies is not broad. What it is interdisciplinary. That's a big difference. Broad is vague. Interdisciplinary is what the labor market is looking for. So make sure you take note of this. So, if I can't say broad, what should I say about European Studies? My advice is to think about the big picture. It is true that we do politics and culture and business and skills and languages, but the whole is more than the sum of its parts. We do those things for a reason. What is that reason? Why do we study these things? The answer lies in focusing on the overall goal of the program and the career goals that go with it. So let's get into that. Let's get into the big picture of European Studies. European Studies is an interdisciplinary management program. It's a program that is unique because it combines management and marketing for both the public and the private sector. Most programs focus on one or the other, but at European Studies, we do both. That's what makes us interdisciplinary, and it's what makes us unique. We do this for an overall goal, to prepare you for a career in business, or in politics and government, or in nonprofit organizations. Instead of focusing on one job, we try to prepare you for several jobs in several important sectors. It's also a program that's focused on professional and international skills for a global workplace, foreign languages, and intercultural awareness, and other abilities that will help you to adapt to different environments and to succeed in a workplace that's increasingly diverse and fast-moving. This logo, which was created by a student, gives you a sense of how we see ourselves. European Studies is like a multi-purpose tool. It combines knowledge and skills that you need to succeed in the international workplace in the 21st century. It's a tool for any job and a key for many different doors. Another way of looking at this is to consider our mission statement. European Studies is all about empowering young European professionals to proactively resolve global challenges. We're talking about the global challenges that we face today, but also the challenges of tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next year after that. European Studies is about getting you ready to go out and change the world. And you might want to change the world through innovative and sustainable business ideas, like we learn in our business courses, or through public policy ideas, like you learn about in your politics courses. But one way or another, the overall goal is to go out and tackle the big questions that Europe faces in the 21st century. Now, I'll grant you that one of the things that makes it hard to explain is the fact that European Studies is not specific. But actually, if you think about it, you'll realize that this is the best thing about us. Why prepare for just one specific career when you can prepare for dozens of different jobs? Why focus on just one thing when you can be ready for anything? And with our program, the focus is on more than just jobs. It's also on preparing for change, because you're living in a very, very globalized, fast-paced environment where things are changing around you all the time. And the labor market is no exception. It's changing too. And now more than ever, it's true that it's not the strongest or even the smartest who survive and succeed, but it's those most adaptable to change. And that's what European Studies is all about, being able to change, having the knowledge and skills you need to start a career, but to grow and evolve with the environment around you and to change with the needs of the labor market. That's why we have a motto. And our motto, which I'm quite proud of, is employability through adaptability. Our focus is on trying to future-proof you for the labor market of the 21st century, making sure that you're able to continue to grow. That's what we're all about at European Studies. And so when someone asks you, this is what you can tell them. You can also tell them what our graduates typically do. Now, the possibilities are pretty endless. There's a lot of different things that European Studies alumni do. But most of the jobs that people do fall into a couple of categories. Most jobs involve management, running an organization, marketing, helping an organization to represent itself to the world and to do business, communications and public relations, and policy advice, helping organizations and governments make smart decisions. These are the things our graduates do, and they do them in a couple of different fields. Most of our graduates go on to work for political or governmental organizations at different levels, from local governments to the European Union. They work in private businesses of all sizes, small, medium, and global. And they go on to work for nonprofit organizations. Now, if that's not specific enough for you, let me show you a couple of sample job titles straight from our alumni database. We recently studied it and looked for some trends. Here are some of the most common job titles. If you take the time to study this list carefully, you'll notice the same 4 trends. You'll notice management jobs, marketing jobs, communications and public relations jobs, and policy advice-related careers. That's what European Studies is all about. Why prepare for one job when you can prepare for 12? Of course, not all European Studies graduates go straight to work. Many of them go on and do masters. And they do these masters in a variety of international fields. The choices are as diverse as the choice of careers. But here's a chart showing you some of the most common choices of relatively recent graduates. You'll notice a lot of international relations, political science, or public administration related fields, but also some communication and business and marketing. Having looked at the career options and the masters should give you a better idea of what European Studies is all about. And hopefully, this video will also help you to explain European Studies to your family and friends and potential employers. Do feel free to personalize your description of the program. After all, you personalized your studies, just like you personalize your life on LinkedIn and Facebook and other social media. You had the opportunity to personalize your studies by choosing specializations and minors, languages, electives, and other activities. So make sure that your description of your studies reflects these choices. And of course, personalize it further when applying for a job or on a job interview. Make sure that you play up the parts of your education that are most relevant to the job that you're applying for. That will help you and give you an edge. If this video was useful to you, you're welcome to continue to use it to further develop your CV or your social media accounts, or even just to show it to your parents so they know what you're studying or studied. Also, feel free to contact us if you have questions. Just like you, we're on Facebook and we're on LinkedIn. We're also on Instagram and Snapchat, if you can believe it. Find us, ask us a question, let us know what you're up to and how we can help you. In the meantime, on behalf of everybody at European Studies, I'd like to wish you the best of luck with whatever you're doing right now and tell you that whether you just started at European Studies or you finished years ago, we're very proud of all of you and we wish the very best for your future. Thanks for watching.